Hey, Martha.
Hi, Tim.
Welcome to Coping Skills with Tim and Martha. We're back
Hi,
again.
everybody.
And this week we're going to, can I tell them?
Please do.
Embracing change. So, as we know, the world has changed and work is going to change too. So, we're going to get ready for new responsibilities, for new rules and new expectations at work. When I say that, what comes up for you, Martha?
I'm a little bit nervous and worried. I have a hard time with change. It makes me feel very nervous to think about things being different. And I don't know what to do or how to do it or what's going to happen next. And all of those things are really scary.
Yeah, and I feel those same things. I think everybody does right now. So we have some ways to attack it. So what are the two areas we're going to talk about today to help us?
Well, I think we need to talk about how to get our minds ready for changes and for new things so that we can be more open and accepting and we can reduce those feelings of fear and anxiety. And then I also think we need to get our bodies ready to follow through on all of that new information.
I think those are both good ideas to start. So let's start about getting our mind ready. So getting our mind ready involves maybe asking who, when, and what questions. So Martha, what are some information that you want to find out that bothers you?
When am I going back to work? I don't know. I'm waiting and waiting.
All right. What other questions do you have?
Who's going to be able to tell me when I'm going to go back? Who's going to tell me what am I doing there? What is my new job? What has changed? What stayed the same? All of those are questions that I think the answers would help me to create some information in my mind so that my mind is prepared for the new experience.
So I think we can help you out with that today. So first of all, let's tackle who. So if you're an individual working at Goodwill, you have a team of people that are helping you. So you have your guardian, you have your Franklin County Service Coordinator, you have your service coordinator at work, and then you have your shift supervisor, either Curtis or Sam. So if you're working with one of those people, they are the ones that are going to get you the information. They work with everybody else, with Tiffany and the whole company to help prepare the reopening. So as they go through, they're going to identify a time frame for you to return. They're going to say, we have availability for you to return. Then they're going to go over some of the restrictions that you need, such as, I know for Martha and I, we have to wear masks the whole time we're at work. All right. I got to get ready for that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The other thing is they're also going to be able to give you a job description of what your new job is going to look like. What are the duties and responsibilities of your job? So that will be helpful. So you'll know who is going to tell you, you'll know what, and the when is based on some things that you have to go through. So you have to meet certain certain requirements, such as getting a COVID test before you start work. People have to sign off on the plan for you to go to work. Sort of like the governor had to sign off the plan for other places to reopen. The plan has to be in place. So you have to know the plan. Goodwill has to provide the plan, and you and your team has to approve that plan. And then you'll be able to sign off and go back to work. So when is may not be today or tomorrow, but they're saying we're working to it, and they may be able to give you a goal. We'd like to have you back before fall, or we'd like to have you back in July or in August. So they can give you a date, and as things get worked out, they'll be able to say, here's your start date that we've agreed to.
So my job is going to be different, and my service coordinator or one of my other staff is going to help me to understand what that job is and how to do it. And those are also the people that are going to tell me when I can go back to work and what the different expectations are for me when I'm at the workplace.
Yes, yes, you've got it now. And
All
so
right. So
key thing,
those are some things that help me to understand how to get my mind ready for things so that I have more information and I'm less nervous in my body. But what if I'm still really nervous and uncomfortable?
well, I think part of that is, I think that you'll agree with me, Martha, that wearing a mask is not something we're going to be comfortable with doing 8 hours a day. Like I wear it if I go out to maybe an hour a day, if I'm lucky. All right. So one thing that I am going to prepare to do, as I know it's getting closer to time, is I'm going to spend a day wearing the mask for longer periods of time, maybe an hour and a half. Then I'll build up to 2 hours, then 2.5, then 3, and build it to where I am comfortable wearing it for a whole day, because that's going to be the expectations. So I need to build up my tolerance level for that. Um, Also, I'm going to be in a more restricted environment. I'm not going to be able to just wander around and say hi to everybody, because we're all going to have designated areas to go to. And we're going to have to avoid large gatherings and stay distant from people. So if I'm used to wandering around the building and being carefree, I need to maybe work out a place in my home or where I'm living, a space that's a workspace, and say, I'm going to stay in this area for an extended period of time. Maybe it's an hour, then build it up. And when I get anxious or stuff, and things are happening and I feel like I want to roam, then we need to rely on what, Martha?
Our distress tolerance coping skills.
So can you help me review what some of those are that I can use?
So some of the things that we can do to calm our bodies down when we're feeling anxious is to use our senses, to use our sight, our smell, our hearing, our taste, and our touch to give us things that make us feel calm and soothed so that we can think clearly and make better decisions about what we do. Other things we can do are ways to distract ourselves with things that we can touch that are appropriate in the workplace, things that we can, a place that we can walk to, for example, going to the restroom or looking at a picture or something like that that helps us to focus. So those are some things we can do to reduce our anxiety, the anxiety in our body, so that we can go back to our work, get back on task, and do our jobs.
Right. And we also have to say that sometimes we may not be able to leave our workstation to go for a walk or to leave for the restrooms because there's limited access to those things. So we may need some additional skills that we can build on later to handle it, that when we really want to walk away and we don't really have the opportunity to do there, we're going to be stuck in our environment because it's not safe for us to leave that area.
So it sounds like we know what to do to get our minds ready, and then to get our bodies ready, we want to practice. We want to use that information that we've gained from our questions so that we can practice things like wearing a mask for a longer period of time, staying in a designated area for a certain period of time while we do a task. And those things will get us ready to go back to the workplace with some of the changes that have been put in place for the new space. What about new tasks for the new job? How will we learn about those things, Tim?
Well, some of those things is, if it's a skill you don't have, they're going to help you develop it. They're going to give you training on the spot. So you may not be able to prepare this at home. If it's something that you can do at home, they'll let you know. But otherwise, when you get there, you'll receive the training so that you're comfortable doing that. Like some people are sewing masks. They didn't know how to sew masks before, prepare them, but they've learned. So some of the new skills you'll be learning and you'll be trained on, and given instructions so that you become proficient. Just like the task when you first started working at your job of how to sort and hang and tag and those things. So those kind of duties that you learned, you'll be able to learn again with the new ones.
So what if I don't like all of the changes that are happening? What if I want everything to go back the way it was because it's too hard to change?
Then that's where you talk with your friends, you talk with your counselor, you talk with your staff that's supportive about it, and just say, I don't really like that, because the reality is there are changes that the world is having to endure and go through that are outside of our control, and that we can't go back because it's not going to be there anymore. So that's not an option. So our option is, how do we move forward and get support from those that care about us to help us make that adjustment?
So accepting change, even if I'm not particularly happy about it, is something that I can do with the help of my friends and my coworkers and my staff, so that I can move towards a better understanding and a greater enjoyment of what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm experiencing that too. And I think you are too, Martha, aren't you?
Big time.
Yeah, so none of us like that. A lot of us wish, it's like, I just wish things would go back to normal. This is the new normal. Yeah, and so part of that is embracing change, is saying we're moving forward, and some of it's exciting, some of it's scary, some of it's not, but getting ready for it by using our mind and body, I think, is going to help us a lot.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you giving me some pointers on how to accept and tolerate these difficult changes that are coming up.
Right. And thank you, Martha, for helping bring up all those really important questions and thoughts and emotions that we're all having.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.